Greetings everyone. This is not the usual video I do, but there's something that I want to touch on today that I haven't discussed before, and it's what they call DogMan. Some of the stuff that I'm about to tell you may shock you to the core, so stand by. This is for entertainment purposes only, because what I say is my own opinion, and through my findings and research this past year, I've come up with these findings. I haven't been in this area for 6 months. There are a lot of attacks by what they call DogMan. A lot of attacks in the USA. Now, through my research, I've come to some conclusions, and this is my own opinions. There's a few places in the USA that have had a lot of attacks. There's specific areas that they have the most attacks. And I have been researching these areas where the most attacks have taken place. And there seems to be a huge facility in these areas where all these so-called, what they name DogMan attacks happen. And my basis is, and what I'm being guided to say is, are they breeding these? Are they breeding these into the facilities and releasing them into the forests? It's very, very possible. Now, this is my opinion, and this is for entertainment purposes only. There's so many sightings, so many attacks. So you might ask yourself, why is this happening? Well, there's two reasons. Is to put them into the forests, to take the Sasquatch population down. A lot of people say that they run with the Sasquatch. Well, that's not really true. We have some mallard ducks in front of us. The Sasquatch actually are fighting with them, and there's so many reports of that have been hidden from the general public, that the squabbles in the forest, the rows, the effects, the blood have been between Squatch and what they call DogMan. So it's a breeding program. Number 2 option is depopulation on us humans, trial and error, to see what they can come up with and what they can make, what type of machine that they can make, what can happen if this is released. That's another option. Look at this. That isn't an accident, I don't think. See this here? This just goes up. So a lot of you are probably questioning, what is this animal, or what is this thing they call DogMan? Well, in my opinion, there's 3 different DNAs. The first DNA is human, which gives it the intelligence and the brains. The second DNA is Sasquatch. That gives it the power and the agility and even more knowledge. The third DNA strand is werewolf, and that gives it the killer, evil, cold-hearted monster that it is. In my opinion, Sasquatch has a soul because it was made by our creator, whereas what they call DogMan, which is a genetically modified identity made in a lab underground, has no soul. When you look into their eyes, it's completely black. It is soulless. Sasquatch don't have that. I thought I would touch on this subject today because there's so many attacks. Now that's another thing I want to discuss. A lot of reports that have these creatures attacking them. Do you know the way you go into a bullfighting ring and you hear the door lift up? It's like that has a huge click, and then the bull runs out into the ring. Every attack in the forest that has been attacked has heard that sound, that release, and then the creature shows up. Isn't that strange? Isn't that weird? Very, very weird indeed. Look at this. There's a leaner. Don't forget, I am in an area that has structures, so interesting. Yeah, and back to the point. They hear this gate open, and then shortly after the attack appears. Now, do you know the way in Africa they'll go in helicopter and they'll lower these big steel cages and say they put a rhino in it or a tiger or something along those lines, animal wise? Well, my theory, what I'm guided to say, is at night time they're using a helicopter to lower one of those cages into the forest, deep into the forest where it can't be seen, and it's been put in there, and everything's done by remote control. And then the creature's released. Have I a theory to this? Do you agree with me? Has anyone ever looked at the most amount of attacks that there's facilities on? There's a tree right through that, and there's one right through that. Sorry, I just say these straight away, and I just have to tell you, it's like so deliberate. So deliberate. This is what I think these creatures are. There's 3 different DNA strand structures, and they've been engineered, they've been created in a lab, and now they're being manufactured in mass facilities and being released. Breeding facilities would probably be a better word for that. Am I right? Well, you decide. It's a very touchy subject, but it's just something that I wanted to touch on. Do we have this creature here, what they call DogMan? No, it's not here. It's only in the USA. Is it under test? I don't know. I don't want it here. I generally don't believe it's anything to do with Sasquatch. It's an engineered killing machine. That's what it is. And it's been DNA manipulated in those strands. Then you have each individual ability. So it has all those abilities. That's a machine. That's a complete killing machine. No question who's making it. Well, the powers that be are. That's who's making it. Have you seen this? Hopefully I haven't bored you too much. I just thought I'd share my thoughts on what they call DogMan. And who knows, maybe you'll do your own research and you'll see these different attacks, where the most attacks are, that you'll find that there's facilities on them. Thank you all for watching. I wish you all a pleasant day. And for me, it's goodbye. Over and out.